Hello, and welcome to The Fool and the Philosopher.
The Philosopher and the Fool.
We're gonna have fun with a list today. We have two tier lists. One's book characters, best novels, right?
Yeah.
And then this other one is worst people, which we stumbled across. We were gonna just do something on novels, but then we saw this list. And
Worst people of all time.
Yeah, so we're gonna see if there's any interesting discussions to have here.
All right. Use matchup mode.
Alright, so I don't know who the Midgley guy is. Ted Bundy, serial killer.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's easy choice, Ted Bundy. Okay, now we've got a Pope versus Ted... Oh, this is interesting. So...
Unabomber versus a Pope.
A Pope. Now, I don't know what this Pope did, actually. I don't know what Pope Benedict did. But given that he's fairly modern, I'm going to guess...
Not the maker of the list was just offended by him being a Pope.
Well, not necessarily. He could, I don't know if any Pope has been, done for pedophilia or anything.
No.
That seems unlikely to me, but... Or if it had happened, it would be, massive news.
Mm-hmm.
But he could have been, some warmonger, or, he was very
But those were older popes.
Yeah. On the other hand, Ted Kaczynski... Well,
some people have hero worship for him, which is just twisted.
Well, I think his ideas of, technology is moving too fast, and we're going to come to a society which is just pure, AI domineering over humans, and we won't have any real connection.
Just because he's right doesn't mean he's good.
Well, I don't even know if he's right there, but I think it can have a bit of connection, right? Yeah. But I also think he chose, the worst loserous possible way to do it. And since he's such a loser, I'm actually going to give this to Pope Benedict.
Okay.
Just because Kaczynski was a loser. Okay, so we've got Gaddafi, the former ruler of Egypt, versus Emperor Hirohito.
Yeah. So Hirohito wasn't exactly in charge of Japan.
Yeah.
He was more getting controlled by other people. Now, he was weak. He could have taken charge, and you can blame him for that.
Yeah, he could have prevented what was going on, but he was just a man being controlled by the military and the navy. On the other hand, Gaddafi, I think he was... Now, I don't know too much about the bad stuff he did, but I do know that he was kind of he was put in place by the American government, if I recall correctly, and then he started going against them, and that's when they deposed him. Yeah. But he did have, an Iron Maiden and stuff in his collection, so I think Gaddafi... He
also had bodyguards that were all women.
Yeah, so, that's kind of cool, but...
So, it's a serial killer versus Pontius Pilate.
Well, I think Pontius Pilate is actually, not necessarily a bad guy.
No,
he was trying to stop, a civil war, basically.
Yeah, and he's trying to follow the law. I've heard someone argue that you can blame both the Jews and the Romans for what happened there. Yeah. However, I feel like Pontius Pilate, again, was just trying to follow the law, stop a revolution. He is kind of out of his depth.
He even had an out where he's like, okay, I will release this murderer, or I'll release Jesus. Yeah. Because he's like, okay, clearly that'll free Jesus, and then I'll be clear, because I gave him the choice, but it didn't work. So, no, I think whoever this guy is. Yeah. Can we just check that we're recording the sound quickly? Just on your, Audacity.
It's recording here.
Okay.
We have backup.
Okay, and Audacity is recording right now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Oh, that's so weird having two monitors. Okay.
Yeah.
I always have to tab out. All right, so Timothy, whoever you are, we'll just assume he's a serial killer?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a tall guy. Okay.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Okay, Himmler versus Bin Laden. Interesting. I have my choice. Bin Laden was the guy that introduced the concept of fear to Americans on home soil, basically. Yeah. He's probably the most successful terrorist ever. He was a genius who used his works to cause suffering to thousands upon thousands of people.
Highly educated man who turned to terrorism and radicalism.
But then you have Himmler, who used his profound, what would you call it, unflinching, principled stances to commit basically some of the worst evil in history. Yeah. And... Yeah, no, I think Himmler is my choice here.
Yes. Yeah. Tom Ben's old friend.
Yeah. Yeah, Pyrian Flax. Okay, so... Well, Judas, obviously. Kissinger, he was, an American politician. I don't even remember what he did, but, Judas?
Yes, Judas Iscariot.
Come on. All right, Ivan the Terrible or some dude. Oh, let's go Ivan the Terrible, then. Yeah. Because I don't know who
they are. Serial killer, probably.
Yeah.
Jim Jones.
Or some dude.
Probably. Jim Jones kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
In a really nasty way.
And I can't have an interesting discussion with Jerry Sandusky because I don't know who it is. So let's have Jim Jones for the next round.
Jim Jones of the Jonestown Massacre.
Yeah. That is a weird picture. Okay.
This is the classic arc of Jack the Ripper.
Oh. That's messed
up. So they put it on the newspaper as what they drew at the time. is the ghost of the Whitechapel.
Really?
Was his nickname?
That's messed up. Like, that makes him scarier than he was. Yeah. I think the, like, gentleman-looking one is better choice. Okay, so this is weird. Jack the Ripper killed 3 people, personally. Julius Caesar probably...
Jack the Ripper killed 5 people.
Okay, let's go with 5 then. I think there's only 3 confirmed, but let's say it's 5.
Yeah.
Julius Caesar killed more personally, probably.
Yeah.
He was kidnapped by pirates who were holding him for ransom. And he became their friends, and he would tell them every day, I'm going to have you guys crucified when I'm freed. And then they would laugh at him they would laugh like with him about the joke. And then he was ransomed, he went back home, he raised a fleet, he hunted down the pirates, and he crucified them.
Yeah.
So he's a nasty guy. But he's not just like unilaterally evil. So
and the whole thing I'm going to crucify you might have said, let me free or I'll do this, and then they arrested him instead.
I think he was just saying like, once I'm free, I'll crucify you.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird, like, so how do you want to do this? We're defining what is
the worst person, worst people of all time.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is, like, Jack the Ripper, all he's known for is evil, right?
Yes.
But Julius Caesar is known for a lot of good and a lot of evil.
Yes.
He was a very heroic man. He was
That's the thing, actually,
a great leader.
This is the thing, is even if Julius Caesar did potentially more evil than Jack the Ripper, he also did good things. Jack the Ripper, as far as we know, did nothing good. So I'm going to say Jack the Ripper's worse.
Okay, before you click, though, just thinking about that, though, like, does that justify does the good justify the evil? I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't, but...
Like, you can say Judas did a lot of good, like, he was Jesus' friend, and he went through, he was one of his first followers, but he betrayed Jesus in the end, right? So it's kind of
I think it's honestly person to person.
Yeah.
But
I think, like... when I think of, like, who's a bad person, I never really think of Julius Caesar.
No.
Like, even though he did...
bad things.
Well, I don't know if he did... Like, he did cruel things.
Yes.
But at the time, like, we also I don't know if you want to consider the times they were living in. There is no time where what Jack the Ripper did was good.
No, exactly.
But Julius Caesar was just a very powerful person doing powerful person things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that going to be our standard, sort of the times they're living in a little bit, maybe?
Yes, we have to consider that as a context.
Yeah, because Julius is a product of his times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jack the Ripper is the evil guy there. All right. So Stalin or... Khomeini. So I think...
I want to say Stalin.
You want to say Stalin?
Yes.
Okay.
I think more people died under Stalin. I think Stalin actually caused more terror to people.
They're both interesting characters because neither is, like, straight up evil. Like, they're kind of like Julius Caesar, where they're trying to be leaders of their country.
Yeah, but Stalin was absolute control freak who would off anyone who opposed him. Khomeini, you could argue, is a religious fanatic who's trying to follow his faith.
Yeah, whereas Stalin is kind of in for himself. And
Stalin, like, they probably both have taken advantage of ideology. But...
Yeah. Like, if you had Trotsky here, then you have two people that actually believe in something, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, okay, let's go with Stalin. Yeah. Okay. So, we've got some Pope. We're not sure why he's on the list.
Yeah.
Maybe he did something really bad. He excommunicated Jesus or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we've got Ted Bundy, serial killer. Let's go with Bundy just because I don't actually know what Benedict did.
Doing.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, it's just everywhere. Okay. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's go with Bundy.
Yep.
Okay. And I don't actually know who Timothy is, so let's go with Gaddafi just so we can have the conversation.
Yep.
And, okay, so this one's interesting. Judas only ever really got one man killed.
And he regretted it afterwards and hung himself.
Yeah. On the other hand, Judas betrayed his friend.
Yeah.
Himmler stood... Well, he didn't exactly stand by Hitler to the end, but he stood by him for a long time.
Yeah.
When Hitler announced his plans to kill himself, Himmler said, "Hey, can I be in charge then?" So, not the greatest friend to have.
Yeah.
And Judas basically had a moment of jealousy and weakness, whereas Himmler had to force himself to do evil every day, which is weird because I don't think Himmler was necessarily a bad... I think at heart, Himmler probably wasn't a bad person, but he was like... He was top weak. Down. Well, he was very strong, actually. But he was like top down and forcing on himself evil every day, it's a very weird person.
Yeah.
He was also like a mystic sort of. I think Himmler here actually weirdly, like Judas did the biggest betrayal, but it's just one man.
All right. So I don't know a lot about
Ivan. No, I don't either, actually.
So Jim Jones did the Jonestown Massacre, which was basically a bunch of cultists who were following him. He made commit suicide. He also kidnapped a senator and a policeman and killed them.
Yeah, and Ivan I don't know anything about, and I'm also going to assume, I could be totally wrong here, but I'm going to assume he's similar to Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, he's just a warlord.
Product of his times. So I'm going to go with Jim Jones just because I don't have enough to say about Ivan. Yeah. And if you're wondering about why the order of the list is the way it is, we have no clue.
Yeah.
But we'll get to the other guys later. All right.
Stalin.
Yeah. I think so. Oh, well, the one thing about Stalin, let's just talk about it for a moment. The one thing about Stalin versus Jack the Ripper, again, it's the Jack the Ripper versus Julius Caesar. Yeah. Jack the Ripper did modernize Russia. He did actually...
Jack the Ripper?
Sorry. Stalin did modernize Russia. He brought it into... in 5 years, he brought them forward 25 years in technology. He streamlined the country. He defeated Hitler. He worked with the West. He had good things he did do.
But he was such a pettily evil man. That clapping, where the first person to stop clapping got killed.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
sad.
a different kind of, sadist. You can go and personally murder someone. If you're a dictator, you can go, I don't like those people on the street, bring them to me to kill. Yeah. But it's a crowd clapping, and it's not even for you, it's performance, but he's attending it, and the first person to stop gets killed. That's...
Yeah, but I wonder, if you compared Stalin to, Julius Caesar, how differently cruel they would actually be. They're... Of course, Stalin's much more in the future where it was less acceptable. Yeah. And we don't know as much about Julius Caesar. But Stalin wasn't purely negative, whereas the Ripper was. Yeah. On the other hand, like you said, Stalin killed people for the most absurd random things. Yeah. He abandoned all his friends. So I think you're right with Stalin.
Also, people were so afraid to treat him when he has an aneurysm, he died.
Yeah.
That tells something about your character.
He doesn't have friends.
All right, I'm going
to go with Himmler.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Gaddafi,
he is a warlord who took advantage of his situation.
Yeah, and whereas Himmler, again, he just stuck with it, again and again and again. Ooh. So I don't know Jim Jones' motivations. Did he believe what he was doing, or was he just for personal enrichment?
So it's a thing that cultists do, which is absolutely horrifying. So this is what cult leaders do. So it started as personal enrichment. Yeah. Then it became into wanting a sense of power. Then when a cult leader realizes that their jig is up, their cult is going to break apart, or they see no way out of it, the law's coming to crack down on them, they are going to kill themselves. And because they're such a selfish, twisted person, they can't bear the thought of dying alone. So they're going to have other people die with them to basically stroke their ego. So they're committing mass murder and suicide. And their suicide has to include everyone else because their ego demands it.
Right. So that's very nasty, I would say. But Stalin... what was it? He had an equivalent, which was there were people in the gulags who, when they were executed against the wall, would say, praise the Soviet Union, praise Stalin. So that's a very similar idea in my mind. It's basically a suicide where you're really believing in the person. And
I feel like Stalin, the way he died, doctors too afraid to treat him. So he might be the person who would kill people while he died.
But that said, Stalin was not... Jim Jones was in charge of his cult, right? Yeah. Stalin was the guy steering a giant horse or a machine. I don't know how much control... even if he said, you know what, actually, no gulags. I don't know if that would have done anything. Right? Yeah.
So... Well, remember The Death of Stalin, the show we watched. That, even though it's a comedy, it's actually also... who was it? The Monty Python guy who was in it. Yeah. He said, you know what, the most absurd thing about this production is most of this is true. And that is why it's so funny. Yeah. That's why it was so darkly humorous, is that most of the things that went on there actually happened. So think about all the things that Stalin allowed to have happen under him.
But I think and I think it was Stalin that actually has the quote, which was that a single death is a tragedy, a million is a statistic, right? Yeah. And I think Stalin was probably not much more evil than your average person. I think he was a little bit more evil, but I think he was just a bit corrupt, a bit narcissistic, a bit selfish, and in charge of a giant machine with a terrible ideology. Whereas Jim Jones was like destroying very fragile people. And like there was wasn't there like that old lady who hid or something when like,
and his children stuff. Although Stalin's like the people under Stalin like did horrible things to children too.
Like there was just pure concentrated despair with Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Whereas with Stalin, you had the Gulag, but he wasn't necessarily the guy pulling the trigger there. Like, it's kind of like, can you blame Hitler for the concentration camps? Can you blame Stalin for the gulags? It's like, yes, because they're in charge. But on the other hand, they're not the ones actually making it worse.
Now, Stalin betrayed a whole lot of people to get to the position he was in as well.
Yeah.
Like, he sought that he wasn't in charge, and he was
the secretary.
He betrayed Trotsky. He betrayed the other leader.
Yeah. Well, I think, like, Lenin was in charge, and then,
Yeah, he betrayed...
Trotsky's the main one.
Yeah, he betrayed those people. He
created a sort of a culture of fear.
Yeah, he created a cult of personality around himself. Like, Stalin was the glorious leader. There are statues of Stalin everywhere.
But a lot of it is, like, it's hard to say, right? Because Jim Jones doesn't have any positive propaganda. Stalin has a ton of positive propaganda. Yeah. But Stalin also has a ton of negative against him, whereas Jim Jones, it's like... Jim Jones, I think, is just a bit more of, like, the facts, whereas Stalin is a bit more of a mythical, historical figure. Yeah. I think I'm leaning Jim Jones. I don't know where you are.
As much as I despise communism and Stalin, I'm also leaning towards Jim Jones because of just how awful cult leaders are.
Yeah, let's go Jim Jones. Like, Stalin was kind of a cult leader, but he was also more of, like, just the head of a machine.
Head of a horribly corrupt machine.
Yeah.
That's weird. This is the worst people of all time.
Yeah. I'm going to go Himmler.
Yeah?
I think. Actually, hang on. Let's not be hasty. Because, again, Himmler believed in something that was bigger than himself.
Yeah. Jim Jones believed in himself.
Himmler was afraid that they would lose World War II if he didn't continue with the Holocaust, basically.
Yeah.
And he didn't want his country to be even worse off than it was after World War I. It feels really weird to put Jim Jones... But
Well, this next bracket is going to be quite weird as well.
Yeah, so do you think... So without clicking on anything...
Well, so here's my question. Would Stalin beat Heinrich Himmler for worst person? Because I think Stalin's worse than Heinrich Himmler.
I think I would put Himmler above Stalin.
Okay.
So I guess that puts Jim Jones... For that to even out, we have to have Jim Jones above Himmler, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jim Jones. Wow, Himmler...
Now, here's the thing, is these two guys are very similar.
Yeah, they're both...
However, Jim Jones did it on a much bigger scale.
Yeah, so I guess Jim Jones.
Because Ted Bundy did it personally.
Wasn't it Manson that had the cult, not Bundy, or...?
No, Bundy did too. Okay. Bundy had a very small cult.
Oh, they were also killing people or something?
Yeah, they were killing people for him. Yeah. He was one of those serial killers who made people kill for him. They're like mind controlled.
You know my really short friend I grew up with?
Yeah.
Do you know the guy I'm talking about? He used to work at the store up the gas station, and doesn't he look like Ted Bundy?
Oh, that's disturbing.
Like they look very similar, right? Like,
yeah. Well, this is the thing. So, like, he made people kill for him. He made a bunch of people kill themselves because he couldn't stand the thought of dying alone.
I think Jim is. I really don't like narcissism.
Yeah.
And so I think Jim is like worse just on that front in a way. On the other hand, narcissism is more of a... Where does evil come in, right? Because narcissism is more of
a... Well, this isn't the most evil. This is the worst people of all time.
All right, so it's not just evil, it's worst.
Yeah, so that's something to consider. This is the worst people. So could their actions lead to something?
Maybe we should do it as evil, because otherwise I might put Stalin above Jim Jones, because I think Stalin did worse.
Well, we can go back and
I guess we can. Yeah, okay, click the X on that.
Yeah.
Right, so do we want to do worst or evil?
I think it's called worst.
So you want to do worst?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back to... Because I think Himmler was worse than Jim Jones in the end as well.
Okay, so Stalin versus
Himmler. I think Stalin wins that one.
Stalin, okay.
Yeah. So if it's like evil, I think it's Jim Jones, but worse, I think... But
what the heck? He's gone by-throughs. We can't have Ted Bundy.
Oh,
it skipped all these people.
No, I think they'll come back to them.
No, because
whoever he goes against will come up here. I think that's how that works.
No, because this guy here should be against Ted Bundy. He's got automatic win against Mao Zedong.
Oh, hang on.
And Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, I guess we'll do it little style. All right, let's go to the top. All right, so are we going to do worse? You want to zoom in just a one tad? Okay, there we go. So are we doing worse or evil?
Worse.
Because I think worse is going to be a bit less interesting in some ways because it's going to be like Stalin and Hitler, right? Like it's not going to...
Okay, we could go with evil and we could go back to Jim Jones.
All right, yeah, let's do that. All right, so...
Oh, I think this is messing my click. There we go.
Okay, so Jim Jones wins, and then...
Jim Jones
wins... And then, okay.
And we can't have Jim Jones against Ted Bundy because...
Yeah, we have to go up to the top and then we'll sort it out. All right.
So we have...
Gary Ridgway, that's the Green River Killer, I believe.
Yes.
Against Albert Fish, I'm not sure who that is. Green River Killer was like... This is kind of a problem with worse or evil in some ways. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's a lot of like mental illness going on, right? Like, and I think the Green River Killer, he was just like a weirdo. Yeah. Like, the first time he killed someone, he stabbed them with a knife because he wanted to watch someone die. Yeah. Like, he didn't actually have any malice towards the kid he killed. He was just curious what it would look like. Yeah. The first person he killed, he was like 14 years old or something. Yeah. Like, he's a horrible person.
Albert Fish made some sort of weapon.
Do we want to look him up?
Sure.
Okay. There we go. Serial killer.
Oh, he's serial killer.
Okay. Child molester, rapist, count. Okay, well, he wins then, obviously. Gary Ridgway was just a killer. He didn't do all the other things. Okay. Leopold II or Vlad the Impaler? I don't know who Leopold II is.
I don't either.
All right, Vlad the Impaler then. Okay, Caligula. I don't know who David Koresh is, so let's go Caligula.
Yeah.
Just for now. And I don't know who Adam Lanza is, so Napoleon wins. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that seems easy. Pol Pot.
Yes. Although Attila might have killed more people.
Yes, but I don't actually have a negative opinion of Attila.
Yeah.
He seems very much to me like he was an honorable man. He was a brave man. He was a good leader. Mm-hmm. He was a conqueror, which means he's going to be a murderer. Yeah. But he was like, for being a conqueror, he was just a guy doing his best to be a conqueror. Like, again, in the context of his culture and his time, I don't think he was an evil man at all. And I think he was actually a good man, given his own culture. Yeah. Now, we don't have to be moral relativists or anything. Yeah. But still.
Also, Pol Pot, didn't he lead to the killing fields?
No, Pol Pot killed like a third of Cambodia's population or something.
Yeah, the killing fields of Cambodia. Yeah. Yeah, they're called that because there are so many corpses in them.
No, but like a third of the population. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous.
Didn't he kill people with glasses because he thought they were smarter?
I think that was him, yeah. That might have been someone else, but I think that was him. Yeah.
So there's a really weird anime going to come out. I read the manga of it. Yeah. But it's actually kind of this concept of history's worst criminals are reincarnated in a tournament to fight, and they all have special powers. But it's anime, so Hitler is like this reincarnated as this little girl, and like Pol Pot has some sort of power where he can like just kill anyone he touches, and like Hitler's powers, he releases poison gas.
That's messed up.
It is really messed up.
All right. Okay, so Timur again, he's like Attila, right? Like, yeah. He's just an amazing conqueror. He's the second greatest conqueror in his time, basically, besides Genghis, I think. So and then you have like Jeffrey Epstein. So yeah. Okay, so going up again.
Okay, Vlad versus Albert Fish. Now, story about Vlad the Impaler. Yeah. So, after he had been under the charge of the Ottomans, he was back in his kingdom. Yeah. A group of Ottoman diplomats came to see him. And he told them, "It is custom in my lands for you to take off your hat when speaking to the ruler." And they said, "Yes, we would do that for a man who was better than us, but we do not respect your customs." And he said, "Very well, you may keep your hats on forever." And he nailed their hats to their head and then sent their corpses back to the Ottoman Sultanate.
So again with Vlad, though, he was a man of his time. Yeah. He was...
Well, I'm going to disagree with that because he was so brutal, he freaked out the other lords of Romania.
But what I mean by his time in this case is there was very few Romanians resisting the Turkish invasion, like the Ottomans. Yeah. And he was one of the few actually making a stand. Yeah. And so he was doing whatever he could to win. Mm-hmm. Now, that said, when he was finally captured and put in prison, he would capture mice and he would impale them still alive and then flay them. Yeah. So, like, he was enjoying what he was... you enjoy your work, you never work a day of your life. He was that kind of person. But what he was doing was horrible torture of people. Yeah. Now, that said, cannibal child molester. Yeah. Versus Romanian hero. I think Albert...
That is the thing, is Vlad Impaler, despite how awful he was... He slowed the Ottoman encroachment of Europe.
Like, single-handedly, basically. Because no one else would join
20 years. Yeah. And it was against armies that vastly outnumbered his own.
And he only really lost because he was betrayed by one of the other Romanian leaders. So I'm going to go with Albert. Because I think Vlad is... there's people like Napoleon and Julius Caesar where they're... they could kind of go either way. Like, they're controversial figures to a degree. Yeah. And I think Vlad is leaning more towards the bad than the good. But... compared to someone who's just bad.
All right, Caligula or Napoleon?
Okay, so Caligula, I think again.
Didn't he murder his own mom?
Maybe that might have been Nero.
That was Nero.
But Nero's mom killed everyone, so he had reason to be afraid of her. Yeah. So Caligula, I don't know too much about him, but what's I find interesting about him, I believe it was Cicero hated Caligula. Yeah. And all our sources are...
from Cicero.
So we don't know too much about Caligula, but we do know that he was the leader for a decent amount of time, which suggests that he probably wasn't actually, the worst leader.
No, because they get killed fast to Roman emperors if they're disliked.
Yeah. And he also, he would do some crazy things. He made I think it was Caligula, made a horse senator. Yeah. But that doesn't mean he was mad or anything. I think that's, a pretty calculated... obviously a calculated insult to the other senators. You suck so much, this horse is going to be the senator. Now, he looks like Joffrey. Yeah. Which is on purpose. I think Caligula was based on Joffrey. That said, Napoleon, I would say, is on the positive side of that 50-50 of those great leaders. Yeah. Whereas Caligula, I think it might be leaning slightly more negative. Yeah. So, I don't really...
Napoleon made... army sent to arrest him, he turned around to join him.
Napoleon as a leader.
Now, however, Napoleon did lose at the Battle of Waterloo.
Yeah. But that's fine. Yeah. Nothing wrong with...
He's just kind of the worst.
If you think about it, Napoleon led to France's greatest defeat in history. Mm. So that's pretty good just right there. And his wife was a great kisser, so... Let's go with Caligula, even though I don't know too much about Caligula. All right, so we got Pol Pot versus Jeffrey. I think Pol Pot. Yeah? Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein was, as far as I can tell, a guy trying to make money and probably... problem with Jeffrey Epstein is we don't know still what he did.
But there's speculation.
There's a lot of speculation. He could be responsible for a number of wars even, potentially, because of how much influence he might have had.
And blackmail he's had. But also, potentially, the things he did were, on the level of, cannibalism and... stuff.
Yeah, those are the more out there ones.
He's definitely a child molester.
There's even evidence that he knew about 9/11. Not evidence, but what do you call that? Speculation. He knew about 9/11. Definitely a child molester. But there's so much of that is speculation. Yeah. And we don't know the scale or the level of influence. Whereas Pol Pot, a third of your population. Yeah. That's hard to... So now we've got Pol Pot. Oh, we're going up again. All right.
Albert Fish versus Caligula.
I'm going to go with Albert Fish just because, again, I don't know too much about Caligula. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of bias towards Caligula.
Yeah, so now Pol Pot versus Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Okay. I think I want to go Pol Pot again. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, Albert Fish versus Pol Pot.
Albert Fish versus Pol Pot. Interesting. Pol Pot, I think, probably. Just yeah. Hopefully we'll get a good one here. Do we want to... Well, it's too late now, I guess. Because there's the whole other half of this.
Well, we can go to there. Yeah. And then we can do... this is the semifinals.
Right, okay. Yeah, here we go. And let's just go down to the bottom, make sure they didn't leave people down below either. We're doing all right down there? Okay.
I don't know if I can zoom in on this.
This is why this website isn't popular. It's a great idea, but I wonder if this was made by an AI, this website. No? No, that doesn't work.
There. Okay.
All right, so we've got Putin versus Rader. I don't know who that is, so let's just go Putin.
Okay.
Just to have something to talk about. We've got... Ooh.
Robespierre versus Hitler.
Interesting. They put two pretty nasty guys early on. So
well, this is random seed.
Yeah, so it's tricky to choose. I think Robespierre is very similar to Stalin.
Yeah.
Although Stalin ended up doing worse. But I think if Robespierre had maintained power, he would have probably been equal to Stalin, or maybe even worse. Because he basically took a revolution of the people and turned it into just like... Well, what do they call it? The Red Terror? The White Terror or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he ruined the French Revolution. He would kill anyone that questioned him. He'd kill anyone that made the slightest... Like, you were not... This is weird. Under Robespierre, you weren't safe. Like, you would just get randomly rounded up and killed. Even under Stalin, I don't think it was necessarily that bad. Like,
under Stalin, you had, show me the man, I'll tell you the crime.
But you would, with Stalin, you would had to have, like, the minor's infraction against the party sort of thing. Whereas Robespierre was going kind of haywire, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas under Hitler, I think you kind of knew where you stood, but if you didn't stand in the right spot, there was nothing you could do.
Yeah.
And Hitler just had far more power and scale.
Yeah.
Like, if Robespierre had lasted as long as Hitler, I think he would have been worse than Hitler. But he didn't last that long, so... I don't know. And if we're talking, like... So that's... In terms of evil, I think... Hitler went against his own beliefs in order to secure what he wanted. Robespierre was... I don't know what...
A nutcase.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what he was doing.
Just for going against his beliefs.
Yeah.
And then the sheer scale of what he did with worse and evil, because we kind of combined it.
Yeah. I think, yeah. All right. So serial killer versus Genghis Khan. Again, Genghis Khan... The problem with Genghis Khan, he could have been worse than Hitler. But he's so long ago that we don't really see him in that light anymore. And he was also, like, a very interesting person that would listen to people from all sorts of backgrounds. Whereas this is some random serial killer. Okay, some lady that looks weird.
Or Manson, who is also a cult serial killer.
Yeah, let's go with him.
Hannibal.
Yeah, let's go with Manson. Just, I don't know who he is. So H.H. Holmes wasn't actually as bad as
people think.
He was basically a con artist who had a couple bad cons. He was willing to kill people, but he probably only killed like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson killed one person. Well, I don't think that was ever proven. He might have killed one person.
I mean, he wrote the book, If I Did It.
Yeah. But I think it was a crime of passion if it was the case, whereas H.H. Holmes, it was a crime of convenience. So I think Holmes is worse, even though he's not as bad as you might think. Well, Mengele is, I think Mengele just wins this whole tournament, actually.
What? It was Mengele.
Mengele is the White Angel of Death. He is the doctor that was in charge of the concentration camps.
Yeah.
Like unless they have some Unit 732 people in here or whatever.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that doesn't seem... Like, Fauci has some controversies, but, like, the rest of this list... Well, they have a Pope and, like, Putin as well in here, so...
Well, it might come out that he's a nastier man than he was.
Yeah.
But again, that's like Jeffrey Epstein speculation.
I wonder who made this list. I wonder if it's all AI made or what. It's weird that you would have, like, Fauci and Putin on the same list.
So this is the German guy who trapped his family in the house.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah.
Okay, well then...
And, like, they had the walls and stuff, and they could never leave, and he,
then
would impregnate his own children, I think, or something.
Okay, if that's him, then yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Mao versus... Marshall Applewhite? I don't know who that is.
He's, I think, a serial killer.
Is he an American?
I don't know.
He looks American.
I'm going to put Mao above him.
Yeah, just because I don't know who it is.
There's also just things about Mao.
Yeah, Mao's also, yeah. Okay. Don't know, and... Okay, oh, that's interesting. They put Kellogg on this list. So Kellogg...
Is that cereal?
Yeah. No, so Kellogg...
Actually?
Yeah. He's not a serial killer or anything. He just hated gays and... promiscuity. He made Kellogg's cornflakes to be so unappealing to lower people's libido so that they wouldn't have as much sex. He also...
What?
Yeah.
What? No.
He also implemented the 4-day work week and found it had boosted the production of his companies and was like a philanthropist. So I think he's actually not a bad person. He just had beliefs that we wouldn't agree with necessarily.
So how is cereal lower people's first security?
Because it's so bland and it's not stimulating. It just keeps you calm and yeah. So
I mean, his mustache and beard are amazing.
So I don't know who the other guy is.
Probably some serial killer.
But I'm not going to call Kellogg evil unless there's more about Kellogg I don't know.
Okay, Kim Il-sung is the biggest cult leader on Earth. He's dead, but he was.
Okay, is that Kim Jong-un's father?
Yes.
Okay, so he's actually still the leader of Korea, I believe.
Yes.
Kim Il-sung. Yeah. Then.
Yeah, because he's basically he integrated himself into the Bible.
Yeah, and I don't know who the other guy's name sounds familiar, but it's not ringing a bell. Okay.
Ooh, well, I mean, this is just a guy.
No, that's Mohammed bin Salman. He's the leader. He's the son of the leader of the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
He's like a very progressive Arabic guy. However, he is on the Epstein list.
Okay.
So, versus
child soldier.
The dude who led the Khmer Rouge, I believe, in the Congo.
He had child soldiers.
Yeah, no, it's definitely him. He's a nasty guy. Okay.
Oh, that's a difficult one. Kim Jong-un versus Karl Marx.
He looks so young in that photo.
Now, absolutely,
Marx didn't do anything.
Well, he's a vile man.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything.
He cheated on his wife.
Yeah, and he took all his family's money and spent it. But he's so he's
okay. Here's the thing, though: is Kim Jong-un actually evil, or is he the son of Kim Il-sung?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't think the thing is, Kim Jong-un is keeping Korea going, and when people cross the border from North Korea to South Korea, they're often full of diseases and parasites, and they're sickly and they're starving. And he's basically it's a kind of a theocratic state. He's basically the voice of a god, and he has done
ignorance through evil, or evil through ignorance,
or he has he must know at least something, right? I feel like he must have. If he knew enough, he should try to do something. Whereas Karl Marx is an annoying dude at work.
Yeah.
Now his ideology
led to some of the greatest evil.
Is kind of poison, but Roko's basilisk.
Yeah.
I don't think Roko is responsible for Roko's basilisk. I think Karl Marx just was the guy that clicked, but I don't think he was actually an evil guy. I think he was just a bad person in terms of he was just an annoying guy that was wasteful of his money. He did have friends though, and that says something, right? You can't have friends if you're an awful person. Whereas Stalin didn't have friends. Yeah. So
Kim Jong-un might not have any friends.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Kim Jong-un, just the fact that North Korea is still the way it is, he's responsible on some level there.
All right, Sani Akbach and David Duke. So this guy's a Confederate. You can see about the flag there.
Okay.
This guy is a war criminal. This guy preaches for Confederacy in the States.
Yeah.
That's just my guess. This guy is a war criminal.
Wasn't that TV show about those people based on David Duke? The one where he slides across the Dukes of Hazzard? Aren't they his descendants or something?
No.
I don't know. Yeah. Let's go with maybe it's unrelated, but yeah. Let's go with okay,
Al-Baghdadi is one of the people that the Alpha Force took out.
Okay. Hussein
I think Saddam Hussein was also killed by Alpha Force.
No, he was tried and executed.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he was killed by his own government in the end.
Yeah, so this guy's a terrorist.
Yeah, Hussein's one of those mixed figures Attila, Napoleon, that sort of thing. I think, although on Hussein's side, I would say he's probably worse than my memory. I never pay attention too much to Gaddafi or Hussein or anything, but I think Hussein was actually worse than Gaddafi and was doing some actually nasty stuff.
Yeah.
But terrorist. So
yeah, beheading people.
Yeah.
Using a theocratic state to his own
advantage.
And
again, Hussein was actually put in power by the American government.
Yeah.
And then
I think Big Daddy just took power.
Yeah. Oh, one's kind of interesting. Okay, so Dahmer versus Bush. So Dahmer killed 8 people.
Yeah.
And Bush was president, of course. But the thing about this is where worst versus evil comes in an interesting way. Bush started probably the worst war America ever was in, and just in terms of their own moral failings and damage to themselves. What are you looking for? You're looking for Hitler?
It just says it.
Says what? Oh, it's just Hitler. This is a giant Hitler. All right. So Bush, I think, started the worst war America's ever been in terms of them losing their image of themselves being good guys in the world. Maybe the Vietnam War did that, but I think Bush's was even worse. As a person, he doesn't seem like he's the worst person. I think his advisors probably failed him a little bit. Versus cannibal. But in terms of evil, Bush is responsible for like thousands of American deaths and tens of thousands of Iraqi deaths. Yeah. Like innocent Iraqi people as well. Yeah. And versus Dahmer killed like a handful of people, but he killed them for no reason other. Like Bush was trying to do right.
Yeah, I see Bush sort of on the same thing as Attila.
Yeah. Versus... Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, he's trying to do the right thing. Failed.
Yeah, versus Dahmer was...
Well, actually, what's interesting is... So you have Stalin maybe not trying to do the right thing. Yeah. Then you have Bush trying to do the right thing and fail. Then you have Attila who was trying to do the right thing and succeeded under his framework.
All right, John Wilkes Booth.
Okay, guy that killed Lincoln. Yeah. Versus... I don't know who that guy is.
So we'll go with Booth.
Okay. And then back around. Okay. Putin versus... I think Hitler is just the obvious choice there.
Yeah. Manson versus...
John Wayne Gacy. I think Mason... I don't really know much about Gacy, but Manson had a cult, so like... Yeah. Okay, Holmes versus Mangle. Like, it's not even close. Holmes was just a con man. Yeah. Mao... I don't know who David... Oh, interesting. Okay, so if David Berg is the guy that locked up his family... Children of God.
Oh, Swedish American. Different guy. This isn't the German guy. Children of God was a horrible cult.
Okay.
So this is... Preacher led the cult known as Children of God.
Who was the German guy then?
I can't remember his name. Children of God.
Child sexual abuse.
It's Heaven's Gate who did the group suicide.
Okay. Can I just type in German, not this, like German dude who... German locked up daughter or whatever.
Yeah. Up family.
I think it's just his daughter and then her kids. Wow. Fritzl. Joseph Fritzl. Yeah. I don't think he's in this list.
Yeah, Hans Zeller.
Why isn't Joseph Fritzl on this list?
I don't know.
Okay. He's Austrian.
It's a relatively recent thing as well.
Yeah. Okay. But because Joseph Fritzl versus Mao is interesting. Yeah. Right? Because Mao, again, is a guy that believes in something. Joseph Fritzl did one of the most evil things, if I was trying to think of what's the most evil thing I could make someone do, it would basically be what he did, where he locked his daughter in a tiny room for 18 years, raped her repeatedly, and locked the children in the room as well. It doesn't get much more evil than that. Yeah. Just the time frame and the actions, it's crazy.
So are we going to call this Joseph Fritzl?
Sure, we'll call this Joseph Fritzl instead. Okay. Because I think that's a bit more interesting, maybe. Because, if you're doing Mao versus the cult guy, then it's kind of cult versus cult in some ways. So, Mao, I don't actually know too much about. I think
he, unlike Stalin, Stalin was the head of a great machine of chaos and Stalin went mad with power, Mao was actually evil.
And now, was Mao a military man? He was the leader of the Civil War, right? On his side?
Kind of.
He was a poet by trade or something. Yeah. Right? But one thing he did, which was weird, was when the revolution started, because his revolution was kind of what we saw in America, obviously on a worse scale, but with the SJWs for a while, where they were just going crazy and attacking their professors. Yeah. It was a student revolution where they just kill their professors. Yeah. So I think I don't know how Mao found himself at the top of the whole thing.
A lot of backstabbing.
And
Mao is the case of every communist revolution where there are people leading. Yeah. And then they get killed and you have the one sneaky guy at the end who has taken over.
Unlike Stalin, he created a very stable regime. China hasn't really abandoned...
I think that's the product of China being China, honestly. Yeah. Because they had his Great Famine, and
Well, I think Mao was like an idiot, right? Like, what was the thing where he said something?
Kill the sparrows because they eat grain.
Yeah, like he was all theory, no like real world application. But does that mean he was evil, or was he just like totally lost in the realm of idealism?
I mean, I think he led to one of the greatest numbers of death ever. Like, just a worse person here.
Yeah.
I think he is responsible for one of the highest kills counts or numbers of deaths in human history.
Like, let's compare him to like Hitler and Himmler for a moment. So,
well, might get the chance.
But just in terms of like, they both had ideas about how things should work so that life would be better, right? Mm-hmm. Like all three of them. But the difference when Hitler and Himmler were saying this is what we got to do, they were saying we have to kill people to make this work, right? Yeah. Well, maybe not Hitler so much, but Himmler was. And then Hitler, his ideas basically led there. Hitler was saying we have to fight if we want places to go somewhere. Yeah. So it's like, that's going to end up killing people. Himmler said we just have to straight up kill people. But then Mao was just saying, like, we have to follow this theory and that theory. And so he wasn't... Now, I don't know if that necessarily... Like, the sheer ignorance and hubris... I don't know if that defends him
exactly. I also see communism as the evil idea.
Yeah, I would say, but it's...
Like, not just communism leads to evil, I think communism itself is evil. Like, the whole thing of the only problem with communism is it doesn't work, I disagree with that. I think communism is actually awful.
Well, communism is materialistic, which basically devalues human experience, so basically removes all value from living. Yes. So it's a very anti-human ideology. Yeah. And even if you ignore the materialism, which I think is the main flaw, it also requires, at least in like the original communism, violent revolution.
And most communists don't love poor people; they hate rich people. It's actually founded on deep-seated hatred.
Well, it's not. It's based on destruction. So basically, what Marx said was that I'm
not talking about what it's based on. I'm talking about the reality of it.
But you said as an ideology, it's also evil, right? So going into that, Marx talked about how the nobles basically overthrew the king, like with the Magna Carta, right? Yeah. So that means that you had...
I'm getting flashbacks.
You had the first revolution, right? Was the nobility overthrowing the king. And then you had the second revolution, which was the bourgeoisie overthrowing the nobility. Yeah. And then communism will be the final revolution of the proletariat overthrowing the bourgeoisie. So it was actually an observational ideology that said there needs to be a revolution to flatten the playing field once more, because it's not totally flat yet. Yeah. You still have a merchant class. And once the merchants are gone, then all will be equal. Yeah. And so it is actually based, as you said, not about lifting up the poor, but it's actually based about just flattening the hierarchy.
Yeah. So it's one man who did repeated awful evil to a small group of people.
Yeah. Versus a guy who neglected. Yeah. Negligently. That thing that is neglectful. Yeah. He did that to like millions
of people under the onus of an ideology based around murder and hatred.
The other thing to keep in mind, though, is that they were Chinese. So if Stalin and Mao had switched roles, Stalin would probably have more deaths under his belt than Mao. Like part of the mass of deaths is just the sheer population of the country. Yeah. Like Hitler had a ton of deaths in a country that wasn't actually nearly as large as China, right? So Hitler proportionally was probably worse on that front, right? So that is something to consider as well. If you think death is proportional. Or if you just think it's like quantitative.
I think it's quantitative. Not proportional.
Because I think like you look at Chinese history and like
you have more responsibility.
Yeah, but like Chinese history is just like everything is done on another level.
Yeah, and China is awful for that in some results.
So, but then on the other hand, we have our friend Fritz, who locked up his daughter, raped her repeatedly in the dark for 18 years. Basically did the worst torture you could do to a person.
Not to just a person, to his own child.
To his own child and to his grandchildren.
Yeah.
Who were also his children.
Yeah.
Which makes that messed up on another level. And I don't know if Mao had any, like... I don't know enough about Mao, but I don't know if Mao actually did any, like, you know, dog-kicking moments on a personal level or not. And so what is evil then on that So you're Satan, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, who's going to hell and who's going to super hell here? Because it's hard. I think statistics make it hard sometimes when you're just looking at like 6 million people, 8 million people. You're like,
well, so here's the thing: is could another Chinese man take in the position of Mao?
And would it have been different?
Or? Yeah, or was like, is that a person that history happened to? Because you could say that Julius Caesar happened to history, and Napoleon happened to history. Did Mao happen to history, or did history happen to Mao?
That's really interesting, because that kind of solves the why do we care more about the one crying little girl than like hearing that 1 million people died in the Holocaust, that 10 million people died in the Holocaust, like that sort of thing. And it could be because Fritz didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas Mao might have not had a choice, like to a degree. Like, there's always a choice, but to a degree, Mao was just the mouthpiece of a movement that was happening anyways.
Yeah.
Whereas there was no rape your child movement.
Yeah.
Not any popular ones.
So is that, say, Fritz?
Yeah, so I think Fritz, actually. That's interesting. But that only is true if we believe in the great man theory of, right, in a way?
Yeah.
Or don't believe in, I don't know. Yeah, okay. So now we've got some random dude versus Kim Il-sung. So I guess it's Kim Il-sung.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to say Idi Amin.
Yeah.
Because, Khmer Rouge versus just like some... Well, hang on. Let's think about this. How much agency do we think Kim Jong-un has, and how much do we think ignorance is still evil?
I don't think he has much agency, honestly.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing where he was getting... Like, there's a video which is This is the Loneliest Man on Earth.
Yeah.
Where it shows him getting onto a boat and his soldiers are running into the ocean crying.
Yeah.
Or there's the people clapping for him when he enters a room.
Yeah. Which is all fake, all
empty. And everyone's terrified of him.
But do you think, like, could he tomorrow stand up and say...
Actually, here is something, though, is a glean into him as a person is when he was threatening the United States with nuclear weapons, and Trump said, "My button's bigger." Like, listen here, Rocket Man.
Yeah.
I have the same button on my desk and it's bigger. That does give us a slight insight into him, that interaction.
Yeah. And what would you take from it, do you think?
I think he has more agency than I'm giving credit for.
Yeah, because, I was wondering, like, because there's the question, does he know what he's doing to the Korean people? But I think the fact that, like, he talked with Trump for a while.
Yeah.
And Trump, when he was in, he was in Germany, and he was talking to the leader, and he was saying how, oh, yeah, we had that war, but we won that one. Like, Trump would have talked about, like, oh, yeah, you're being mean to the Koreans, right? Like, yeah. I'm pretty sure he would have done that. So I think Kim Jong-un knows, because he does deal with other world leaders. But...
Khmer Rouge has children soldiers.
Khmer Rouge, and they were murdering people just, like, constantly. Like, I think they're both kind of bad people. We did for some reason, in my Math for Life Sciences class, we did a calculation of the amount of deaths caused by the Khmer Rouge. And it was, like, crazy. Like, we were trying to calculate daily deaths, and they were just, like, rounding up families and murdering them, basically.
Now, Kim Jong-un is under a regime that has basically civilization held hostage.
And it's, like, until the 7th generation sort of thing. I think we're in a situation right now, which is similar to, like, could Kronos hurt the Witch King? Where you think they're both, like, they're equally powerful, right? Where... Well, any weapon that hurts the Witch King will shatter, but the sickle of Kronos is invincible.
Yeah.
However, then you have to keep in mind Witch King's a man and Kronos is a god. And in this case, Kim Jong-un is in charge of an entire country, and if this is the right guy, we could be getting the guy wrong, but if Idi Amin is the guy I'm thinking of, he is a warlord, but he's not, like, the leader of one of the most powerful military nations on Earth in a way, because they are a nuclear power, right?
Yeah.
So they are quite a powerful nation, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think... But on the other hand, I wonder if Kim Jong-un is just sort of, like, a bit of an idiot and doesn't really know what he's doing.
I think he have to.
Yeah. Like, I think he knows what he's doing, but I don't know if he like, realizes this.
Here's the thing. I think he'd be dead if he was a bumbling idiot. I think someone would have murdered him and taken his place.
I guess to some degree. But, like, in terms of, like... You know how you can... we can talk about, like, let's say... oh yeah, no, United States should invade Iran and take out the nuclear power plants, right? Yeah. You can just say that. And you're like, yep, that's a good thing. But you don't think about, like, here is, like, a man crawling on the ground, missing his arm and his leg because he was just bombed in the power plant. You don't think about that level, right? So Kim Jong-un could just be thinking, oh yeah, we need to keep order, so just, arrest people, treat them harshly if they're arrested. But he doesn't really think about, what does that mean to every single family in the nation that's getting... Like you don't think about the depth of what it means to do what you're doing.
Yeah, if you're a leader responsible for people, I think that's evil.
Yeah, so let's take someone like...
Because he's responsible for these people. He is their leader. He's meant to look after them.
And he's not thinking about the consequences.
He's their god.
Yeah. Well, his dad is, but...
Yeah. He's the voice of their god.
Do you think... Like, Himmler, I think, knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I thought about it, I have trouble sleeping at night, but I know what I'm doing. Does that make him better than someone who doesn't think... Like, let's say they do the same action, right? Yeah. You got Kim Jong-un causes the Holocaust and Himmler causes the Holocaust at the same scale.
Yeah.
Right. Does that make one or the other better or worse?
Well, I'm going to say we shouldn't compare them to each other because they might make each other the list.
But I think...
I'm going to go with Un over
a
warlord.
Yeah. I don't think... That's not the Haitian guy, I think. I think that's the Congo guy. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Terrorist versus other warlord.
All right. Actually, I might go with the warlord. Like, I don't know much about either of these guys. Yeah. I don't know anything about either of these guys.
I just know warlord terrorists.
Yeah. But for me, warlords are kind of in it for personal gain.
Yeah.
Terrorists actually believe in something.
Yeah.
Even if we disagree with them, at least they have that. Okay, it's cannibal versus...
a loser who murdered someone.
Yeah, a cannibal, though, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, he believed in something.
Yeah.
He believed in killing the guy that saved his son's life. Or something like that.
And a guy who...
Is it weird that we just had an episode where we talked about, like, half the people on this list?
It kind of is. It's also... There's some interesting things that George Washington wanted to do, and he never got to do because John Wilkes Booth killed him.
Yeah.
Because...
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln. Because Abraham Lincoln wasn't going to just end with the Civil War.
Yeah. He was going to actually rebuild the country.
He was going to rebuild the country, but what he was also going to do is he had a different repatriation plan than Jim Crow. Hypothetically, what he planned would have stopped Jim Crow.
So could we say Booth...
Because George Bush's plan, instead of just sort of muddling forward with what they had, he was... what's that country called in Africa that they sort of did?
In terms of...
some of the black people went to it and took it over from America.
Black people from America went back
to an African country and took it over.
News to me.
Okay. Anyways, so his plan after the Civil War was actually to send all the slaves back to Africa.
Oh, wow.
Like all of them. Yeah.
People that hadn't been to Africa in 6 generations.
Yeah, so Wilkes Booth kind of changed the course of history.
You know what's interesting? Yeah. So, but again, we didn't blame Marx for communism, destroying the world, so I don't think we can blame Booth for Booth. But it's interesting, what you said there. If Lincoln had done that, I think for America, I don't know about Africa, that might have been terrible for Africa,
yeah.
But I think for America, long term, that might have been a better outcome just in terms of you wouldn't have the constant fighting about civil rights anymore. Yeah. Although, on the other hand, they never would have had to face the problem with civil rights.
Yeah.
But I think in the moment, that would have been way more evil than anything that happened.
Yes.
Because that's really messed up. Just chucking people to a country they've never been to, don't know the language, don't know. That's wild. All right. Hitler versus Manson. I think Hitler's basically Manson, but better at his job. And not a serial killer. But yeah. Okay, Mengele wins. Wait, hang on. Yeah, no, Mengele's like David Berg at scale. Sorry, not Berg, but Fritz.
Yeah.
He's basically Fritz at scale. He was torturing many people in the worst ways you can imagine.
And he was doing it out of curiosity without thinking about them personally.
And he never, he escaped. He never was actually charged for his crimes. So
All right, father versus son.
Father. I think father. Although, again, let's just to have a slight debate here. Sung had something he believed in, communism.
Yeah.
And maybe he thought it would be better for his people.
Sorry, father.
Sorry. Sung, the man.
Yes.
Yeah, the man Sung.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim Il versus Kim Jong. How about that? So Il.
No, I get Sung versus Un.
Yeah. So Sung maybe thought communism would be better for his people, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Un was able to see that it didn't work.
Yeah.
And he's keeping it going. And he's making it work. Like, there isn't a communist country that has it as bad. Like, if they took Chinese-style communism in North Korea, their lives would improve massively, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, they've just... Like, Chinese people can live mostly normal lives, except if they get unlucky and get on the wrong side of the government.
Yeah.
Whereas North Korea is just like a hellhole.
Yeah.
So... But I don't know how much Sung actually believed in it or not. I'm not actually sure. All right, some random dude, Jeffrey Dahmer. If that's the Haitian dude that eats people, I don't think that is.
That's not barbecue.
He doesn't look like he's Haitian even.
Sanai?
He actually looks German. I wonder if that's German Ghana or whatever it's called.
Sanai.
Sani El-Bacha.
Bacha.
Nigeria. Oh. Whoa.
Oh, he's not
warlord.
Those are scars.
Military dictator, statesman who ruled Nigeria.
Oh, he's not the warlord I thought he was.
Yeah. Let's just click.
I thought he's the warlord. I thought this guy was the warlord of Bosnia.
Let's see if he did anything. Seize state funds. Seizure of power. Oh, he's just like a
corrupt military leader.
I think I might put the terrorist guy above him then.
Yeah. No, Baghdadi's a nastier person than him.
All right. Now Dahmer, though, I think I put I don't actually know much about this guy, but...
Al-Baghdadi?
Yeah. All right. The best bag. You know that's a rabbit for the Baghdadi? Not that one. This next one.
This one?
No. Like, to look at the name, you gotta go to this one. Bag. Okay.
Yeah, there's an H. I never will guess that.
Baghdad.
Why is he not? He should be popping up.
D, not F. Baghdad. Let's go to the TV channel, and then it'll say, if you're looking for the man. Oh no, that's Big Daddy, not Big Daddy. Okay. Is that Chamberlain?
T-A-D-I. This is correct.
No, not quite. Just last day, get rid of that. Yeah. Alright. Just click on Baghdadi. Maybe it's it just means you're from Baghdad. Huh. Right. Abu Bakr. Here we go. Let's look at him.
Abu Bakr from Baghdad.
So Abraham Awad Ibrahim. Oh, why is his name twice? But he was called Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
Founder and first leader of the Islamic State.
Oh, is he... Wait, is he ISIS then? Or is
yes.
No, wait, let's see. Baghdadi is born in Samarra, insurgent group in Iraq, was detained with Al-Qaeda commanders. What is... Can we just look at the Islamic State? I'm not actually sure what that is. ISL... Oh, ISIS. Okay, so it's ISIS.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, head of ISIS.
Okay, head of ISIS. Well then, yeah. Ooh. Now this gets interesting, though. Because, again...
Okay, you could say he's a religious fanatic that believes in something.
Yeah.
Versus Jeffrey Dahmer, who's a cannibal serial killer.
Yeah.
Who took advantage of lonely gay men and murdered them for that. So al-Baghdadi, though, and the ISIS is one of the most evil interpretations of Islam. And one of the harshest.
I don't actually know too much about, like, ISIS's tenets. Like, because I know, like, ISIS's actions are, like, basically the worst of any Islamic group. terrorist group there is, right? Like they destroyed their own historical buildings. Yeah. They're a terrorist group that put countries at hostage, basically.
There's a great thing, which is, sounds like, oh, I love seeing my own culture in the British Museum. Yeah. And it's a picture of, those winged bulls with man heads?
Yeah.
So a guy said, all right, so this thing here was a British exposition, found this place, they dug it up, and they took these two statues and brought it to the British Museum. Now, this is what happened when the Islamic State took over this exact temple that was left over. And that's where they were smashing the statues and tearing the faces off. It was destroyed. The only reason we have this culture left over is because the British Museum paid a bunch of money for our exposition and recovered a few pieces of it.
Like, ISIS has caused some of the worst damage to human history, that I know of. But as for their tenets, I don't actually know.
They also cause massive amounts of human misery.
But I don't think their tenets really matter too much when we're looking at the worst person, because it's more about what did they do, and what they have done is created a horrible state of terror.
Yeah.
But that said, are they more like an Attila group, or are they? Oh, so he killed himself
and his children.
Okay. Well, not his children necessarily. He was just two children. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Sexual slavery, executions, hackerings. He had sex slaves. So, okay, I'll put him above Dahmer then. Yeah, okay.
All right, Hitler versus Joseph Mengele.
Ooh, the reunion. Everyone, the gang's all back together. I think I'm going to go with Mengele. Although it is interesting because you could say Hitler was responsible for Mengele. He enabled Mengele.
Yeah.
If there was no Hitler, there would be no Mengele.
Well, so you beat Faith Overdon?
Yeah.
So you are allowed to call the captain responsible for every crime.
Yeah. And Hitler also himself believed that the person in charge was responsible for everything.
Yeah.
However, this is worst person, not most responsible for the evils. And Hitler was not going around torturing people for... Well, the thing is, Mengele actually did...
He got pardoned, didn't he? Because they asked for his... I thought they wanted his reresearch. Like the
No, that was the Japanese guys.
I thought they also did that for Mengele.
I don't think so. I think he just escaped to Argentina. And then Brazil eventually. But he... Mengele's research is stuff we actually use today still.
Yeah, hypothermia
research. Whereas the Japanese unit, whatever it was called, they weren't actually learning anything. They were just torturing people for fun. So if whoever was in charge of the Japanese thing is on this list, I would actually put them number one probably.
Mengele also made the giant rabbit.
The Angola rabbit or whatever they're called.
The super rabbits bred to make fur.
Was that him that did that?
That is his unit.
Oh, weird. I guess they were just the research, biological research or something.
Yeah. I don't know if it's him exactly, but it's his unit who made the giant fur rabbits.
But I wonder if Hitler had been less busy, if he would have stood by Mengele. I think Hitler is probably... There's a kind of leader. Yeah. They tend to be quite effective leaders, but it looks bad in the long run. Trump's one of them.
Yeah.
And I think Hitler probably would have been one too. Although I don't know enough about Hitler. But you stand by your subordinates, no matter what, because it makes them have faith in you, right?
Yeah.
And you can see that Trump does that. He'll defend his people, and then what Trump does, though, is he'll then just abandon them utterly if they fail him too many times. And I think Hitler was probably quite similar to that. Where someone like Stalin, he doesn't like any of his subordinates, but
kills them and erases them from history.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Mengele's worse, though, personally. I don't know if you have a counter opinion there.
Well, unfortunately, your talks about Hitler and all things is he's a man who betrayed his principles.
Yeah.
Which led to some very awful stuff. But there's also just so many things going on there that he's a man who's been slightly...
He felt very betrayed by the loss of World War One.
But he himself has been betrayed by the villain washing of history.
Yeah.
I don't mean that he was a good guy. I do not believe that at all.
It's just very hard to know where he is.
It's hard to know where he is, and there's so many things going on, like the whole thing of the one doctor had him on all the drugs.
Yeah.
And then the other one's like, whoa, what are you doing to this dude? We have to take him off them.
Yeah. And I think the problem as well is it's very easy to say Hitler's the most evil.
Yeah.
And it's also very easy to say, no, Hitler wasn't evil. You got that wrong.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to say that Hitler wasn't evil.
No.
But I think Mengele was worse.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Mengele was the guy that killed Anne Frank. So, you know. Yeah. And Anne Frank was a lovely girl from the book, like her diary. She seemed like a nice girl. So, you know, that's awful. Okay, now this one is interesting. I'm going to say Kim Jong-un because Baghdadi had a future he was trying to work towards and have a better world. Kim Jong-un has that world and he's squandering it and it's awful.
Yeah.
All right, semifinals. All right. Wow, I'm surprised Kim Jong-un's this high up. I guess he had an easy run though with like some of his guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Because I don't actually think he's like that bad really. Why is it just Hitler? Hang on.
Yeah, no, I was looking for a bit where we zoomed in.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is there a pair of eyes staring at me?
Yeah, I just thought it was some random eyes or something, but no, it's just... I think
we've defied the purpose of this poll.
I think there's a correct answer.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. Pol Pot versus Jim Jones. Can we just double check Pol Pot is the Cambodia guy? Yeah. Just double check. Oh yeah, he's Cambodia. Yeah, okay.
Cambodian communist leader.
Yeah, so that guy, yeah, it's hard to be worse.
He's like one of the evilest of the communist leaders.
Yeah, like probably the most evil.
Right?
He was so evil that Vietnam, another communist country, actually invaded Cambodia and overthrew his government because they were like, that's messed up what you're doing.
Well, it's like, okay, we have the maker of communism, awful man, made an awful ideology.
Yeah.
We have Stalin, who... very awful person, led to awful things.
Yeah.
But he ran Russia and various other things.
And he realized Russia needed to get to the modern world, and he did succeed.
And absolute brute. Like, he was a brute.
Yeah.
No doubt that he was a brute. Psychopathic, nihilistic murderer.
Yeah, and who was so bad other communists were like, okay, this guy's...
But I actually mean like a nihilist, just by the way he did his murders. It's awful.
Yeah, so I think Jim Jones, he was a small fry, right? Like, yeah. Whereas this guy was
both narcissistic murderers.
Yeah. Do you ever see the
one had more power than the other?
It's oversimplified the history guy, right? Where he says like, look at this sweet old man. Like, let's see what. Yeah. Because he's a very like friendly looking guy.
Well, if you got rid of some of the fat from his face, he looks a bit like Donnie Young, the
Donnie
man.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. All right, Mengele versus Jong-un. I'm gonna say Mengele pretty easily. Well, it's weird because I think what Mengele did on purpose in his camps is happening in North Korea not on purpose, just because they're so poor.
Yes.
Although that said, I have obviously the what are they called? Potemkin villages that we get to see of North Korea make North Korea look nicer than it is.
Yeah.
That said, I'm not sure I believe fully that Korea is as bad as the like anti-North Korea propaganda says.
Yeah.
Because I'm always a little suspicious of just like anything that you can't just look at fair and square. But I still think it is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised. Like, it'd be weird if Kim Jong-un was in the in the finals.
Well, does Kim Jong-un beat Hitler?
And I would say probably not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mengele beat Hitler.
Yeah.
But there is sometimes a rock paper scissors sort of scenario, right? Where, because even Nazi Germany.
So here's the thing: is Nazi Germany, evil things happened there. People did evil things because they thought it was the right thing.
Yeah.
Now here we have a man who saw an evil system and took advantage of it. That's the thing. He fully utilized it.
I think the other thing, kind of like how Mao didn't get too far, I think Kim Jong-un, it could be anyone. Like, I don't think Kim Jong-un is a great man of history. I think anyone can be in charge of North Korea to the same result. Whereas Mengele and Hitler were great men that were actually changing the world through their sheer willpower.
Yeah.
And I think that does count for something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, it kind of makes you like them more in a way because they were at least trying, like a Genghis Khan or Attila. But on the other hand, they are trying to do evil, like Smoking Mirror, right? Mm-hmm. He was a powerful, intelligent person, well, god in Aztec mythology, but he was the god of evil. Yeah, and I think like you can look at Hitler and Mengele in that way as like gods of evil, whereas Kim Jong-un's more like a god of like incompetent banality of evil sort of thing. Yeah, and no, I actually forget that. No, he's not a god. Kim Jong-un's not even a god. Like he's just a man that is the voice of a system. Yes. But if he was gone, he could be replaced with his sister. He could be replaced with one of his generals, his daughter. Like it would be the same thing. He's not the guy. Whereas Hitler could have said, "You know what? We're stopping the Holocaust now," and the Holocaust would have stopped. Yes. Because Hitler had the choice to keep it going. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's Mengele versus Pol Pot. Let's pull up that Pol Pot Wikipedia again because I don't know. Like I know Pol Pot killed like everyone. But I'm not sure, like, the depravity of the killing. And I don't know if that's actually, like, a measure that matters or not, but I think it feels like it does to me, at least. I don't know if you care about the depravity of the killing, but... a quarter of the country's population was killed by him. Yeah. So not a third. Not quite as bad as I said.
But he chose who to kill. That's the thing. He's like, we should kill this group of people. We should kill... So communism is... We should bring some people down. Some people have to die to achieve the revolution. He's like...
Oh, he was the Khmer Rouge. Sorry, I got them mixed up with the other guy. Yeah, okay.
But you know the, like the Crippler book, whatever it's called, where it's like you... the person who's strong and smart has a constant ringing in his ear.
The First Law with the torture, you mean? Or?
No, the First Law. It's a book where, like, the really strong guy has weights attached to his...
Harrison Bergeron.
Yeah, Harrison Bergeron's book.
Yeah, no, the book is called Harrison Bergeron.
Okay, Harrison Bergeron. Yeah. This is how this guy tried to do communism.
Yeah, just make everyone equal.
By killing anyone who seemed to have an advantage.
Yeah. Did he, like... Let's look at his legacy. I'm curious. Like, let's see what... If Wikipedia likes him, that'll say something. Just this one here. Yeah. Okay. Most brutal despots in modern history, overseen mass atrocities, became synonymous with genocide and repression. Trying to reshape Cambodian society through radical means, he was a revolutionary. Chandler said he was one of the visionary leaders of Cambodian history. He was considered byword for mass killings and chaos. He's the creator of one of the most brutal and radical regimes, one of the worst mass killings of the 20th century. Like, if he had been Mao, that would have been, like, what, like 60 million, no, not 60 million people, something like that? Like, a quarter of your country, if it was China, would have been horrifying. Let's see. Vietnam said it should be considered genocide. Vietnam was the group that stopped him, I think. Yeah. They're like, hey, stop being horrible over there. We're making communists look bad. Doesn't seem like he was trying to make things worse than they had to be under his worldview. Like, he wasn't torturing people. He was just getting rid of, like, everyone. It seems like, at least according to this. Do we have... Always better to go too far than not far enough. Wow. Where did that lead, hey? Hitler had a similar view, actually. Mm-hmm. And I think those very powerful views, it makes you a great man, but it also makes you, like, a horrible person if it goes wrong. Like, Jeff Bezos has a very similar view as well. Yeah. But Jeff Bezos, thankfully, is not an evil person like this. Hopefully. Teacher, he was a teacher? Can you imagine, like, wait a minute, that's Mr. Plot. So he was a calm, honest, persuasive teacher.
Oh dear, he was soft-spoken, serene and calm.
He displayed a lot of warmth. I mean, he looks so friendly too, doesn't he? He would never blame you or scold you to your face. He had insomnia, he was frequently ill. He was sick a lot of the time from malaria. He loved music. He loved French poetry, romantic French poetry. How did this, like, kindly grandfather do this? What? he believed he was acting for the common good. Sooner or later, everyone would recognize that. He glorified violence and thought it was a cause for exaltation.
He's a micromanager, and so if he's a micromanager and he caused a quarter of his population to die, he's micromanaging that murder.
But I'm thinking, like, is he more like Himmler, where he kind of, he's more of like we have to get these people killed, right? Like, it's not necessarily that we want them to suffer; we just need them dead.
I mean, did Mengels want people to suffer? Or did he just use the opportunity that was given to him?
Like, he wasn't treating humans as humans, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would say that Himmler and Hitler were both treating humans as humans, but I don't think Mengele was.
Yeah.
Whereas Pol Pot might have been treating people as people, but he just thought violence was, like, awesome.
And that might make Pol Pot worse, as he's treating people as people and it's still killing them.
But if you think about, like, sort of Roman ideology, right, where, like, if you kill someone in combat, you are both raised in glory, right? Yeah. Like, you will or like Vikings, right? Like, you will both go to Valhalla now that we have killed each other. That's not his fault. Any cult activities going on around his tomb. Yeah, what did he... Oh, that's not him.
King looked cool.
Yeah, how would you revolt against that dude? He's so cool looking. All right.
They were ruled by the French.
Well, no wonder they were messed up.
Actually, have you seen the countries that were ruled by the French after colonialism? The countries ruled by the Spanish after colonialism versus the countries ruled by the Dutch or the English after colonialism?
Yeah, no, it's like... I mean, you've got, like, Canada, the United States, and South Africa.
Australia.
Rwanda was Dutch, I believe, and that went really bad.
Well, the Dutch didn't go well after they left.
Well, Dutch was America as well, and they were okay there. But Dutch is more spotty, I would say. But yeah, no, the British have a pretty good record.
But it's like Spanish or France afterwards, that's not good.
Spain's record actually isn't the worst.
South America. Or if it gets Portugal.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, but I mean, even like Portugal isn't the worst. Like Portugal had Brazil.
Yeah.
But South America, like Mexico and everything, they've got a lot of problems, but they are countries that are holding together, right? Whereas like Cambodia was like a killing zone.
Yeah, and Haiti.
But like if you look at like Brazil or Argentina or Venezuela or Mexico, they have their problems, but they are like functioning countries.
Yeah, whereas Haiti is not.
Yeah, but Haiti, Rwanda, like they were just...
Yeah.
They were nightmares.
Cambodia.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is about the king, not about Pol Pot. Oh, his name's Tsar, I see, okay. I can't read that fast. Well, not when it's blurring. I'm
just trying to skip the details potentially about the man.
Yeah, I'm just curious. So he wanted a communist revolution, I think it seems like.
Targeted police and soldiers to seize weapons, scorched earth policy from the government.
His wife was schizophrenic.
Yeah.
He's a very friendly looking guy.
Yeah.
That's weird. Oh wait, no, that's not him. That's someone else. Maybe Cambodians just look really friendly. That would be weird. A bunch of really friendly guys just murdering each other.
Khmer Rouge Rogue Army.
Okay. Membership of the party was made selective. You could only have poor peasants, not middle peasants or students. Oh, so he was like super communist. He thought even being a peasant wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. That's a tricky one. Okay, so that's one over. Because I think... So Pol Pot, obviously, higher scale devastation.
Yeah.
Mengele didn't cause the Holocaust. That was more Hitler and Himmler's fault.
And he has the opportunists who came along.
Yeah, but he didn't cause the Holocaust. No. Like, he wasn't the one begging for there to be a Holocaust. No. He was more like, these people are going to die anyways.
Yeah.
Let me do something about it. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas Pol Pot...
You could even, if you want to nobly put it, it's these people are going to die anyway, so let their deaths not be in vain.
Yeah. Waste not, want not. Use every part of the buffalo.
Yeah.
That sort of messed up as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very messed up.
Whereas Pol Pot, fairly friendly guy who really believed that there needed to be a low peasant revolution, loved bloodshed, thought it was glorious. Trying to now, what moral? Like, I don't think subjective morality really works, but we are saying judging for their times. Yeah. If we compare Pol Pot to like Attila, for example, the thing is, Attila was conquering the world and making it benefit the Huns. Pol Pot was killing his own people.
Yeah, his own people, exactly.
Yeah, he was making people live in fear.
Yeah.
Whereas like Mengele wasn't even making people live in fear, really. Like besides the prisoners, but he was just another. I think Pol Pot maybe has to win it, unless you.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Wow! Congrats, Pol Pot. That's fine. I wouldn't have if someone asked me who's the most evil person. I don't think I would have thought of him off the bat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a weird idea for a video.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun because you kind of talk about the different levels of evil, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun idea.